Yeah, you saw the trailer correctly. It's Jason Bourne killing Komodo dragons. So, it is the mystery of the Great Wall. How did it get there? Who built it? Why did they build it? Obviously, we know how it got there. I don't know why I said that. I was speaking fast. That's what came to mind. So, this is just one of the legends as to why the Great Wall was built. So, and basically, it's Komodo dragons. I don't really know what they are, if to call them aliens or just creatures or monsters. I'm not sure, but they look like big fucking green creatures that are Komodo dragons. So, Matt Damon, though, Matt Damon's character and his friend are going, and they're traveling on these horses in the desert, and they're traveling to the Great Wall to basically trade for something called black powder, and that is, like, mainly used for explosives and things like that, and it's really successful, and, you know, you can make lots of money off of trading that sort of thing. So, they go in search of the Great Wall, they find it, they get there, and then they become not really trapped, but they meet the main emperor lady who is in charge of that section, I guess, of the Great Wall. Well, actually, no, it's not her. It's a general, and then something happens in the movie, and she begins to take over and things like that. But to start off, so they don't meet the general first. They meet this woman, and she basically is there to show them around and to teach them the ways of how they fight, how their army fights, how they go from the wall to bungee jumping down and killing the Komodo dragons. And so she shows him all the fighting moves and everything like that, and that's really cool. And there's this awkward kind of tension slash relationship between Matt Damon's character and her character. And what I mean by that is that it's kind of like a love thing going on, but they don't really express it throughout the movie. And I thought that was kind of weird. It was just there for character development that they didn't really expand on. But I was fine with that. It wasn't such a big deal that it bothered me. This movie I enjoyed a lot more than Fist Fight, which also came out and which I also saw right before this. So I was going in hoping that it would be a better film. And for me, it totally was. I know they're totally different, two different films, but for me, this was way better. I don't want to go on comparing them because it makes no sense for me to do that. So I'm going to continue talking about this film. And so when they get there, guys, they basically learn how they fight, and they learn that there's this other guy trapped there as well, who is William Dafoe's character, and he basically helps them try and find an escape plan. Now, Matt Damon's character, on the other hand, doesn't really want to escape. His partner does. He wants to leave. He wants to get the gunpowder and go. That's his plan all along. That's what he wants to do, and he wants nothing to do with the Great Wall once they attack. Now, Matt Damon's character, on the other hand, wants to stay, wants to help fight, and wants to, find the reason why these things are attacking them, and to kill it and to stop it. Now, with the problem with this film is that it kind of takes a slow turn. So the first 30 minutes are great. It's a lot of action, it's a lot of blood, and, well, not blood, but it's a lot of action going on, a lot of killing, and just a lot of really cool sequences that are shot. And it looks like a good war battle zone, pretty much is what I'm trying to say. But then during the middle of the film, it really starts to go on the relationships that Matt Damon has with these characters and the dispute between him and his partner about whether or not to stay or to escape. And I feel like that was good. There was tension between several different characters at several different times. There was a really good conflict between the army and some of the characters and the general that makes some decisions that you wish he wouldn't have made, and things that could have been differently. So there's that as well. But overall, everything in this movie wasn't as bad as the critics said they were. I actually enjoyed this film. It was funny. It was funnier than Fist Fight. That's how you know it's a funny movie. Excuse me, guys. But it was very funny, surprisingly. I did like the chemistry between Matt Damon's character and his partner. I thought that was really good. I just don't know any of the names in this film. Sorry, guys, so I'm going to keep saying it by their real names. And besides that, it wasn't only funny, but the action scenes were very well directed, at least in my opinion. I thought those were very cool. Whenever it was happening, I never felt bored. I always felt like what was going to happen next, even though they were doing the same thing, I felt like that it was something new and exciting every time. So overall, you guys, I didn't really have too many complaints with this film. It's definitely not one of the best films that I have seen, nor will it ever be, but it was a fun movie. I enjoyed it way more than I did with Fist Fight, and I'm not just comparing those two films and basing my rating off of that. I'm just comparing them because of how different those films were, and how different my ratings are for those two films. So with this film, guys, I'm going to have to give it a moderate. I wanted to give it a higher rating because it is the third one on our rating list. I'm still trying to memorize those, but I feel like that is the best I can do. I wanted to enjoy it a lot more, but I was satisfied with the film. I laughed throughout the whole thing, not in the sense that it was so bad that I laughed, but because what the character said was actually funny, and so I really respected and appreciated that in this film, and it didn't take itself seriously like it was, like the trailer was making itself out to be. It was more of a funny, lighthearted film than I totally expected. So that was really cool going into it, and that's why I'm giving it the rating that I did. The only reason why I didn't give it a higher rating was because of some of the character development and some of the reasons that they didn't explain, like why the Komodo dragons were there. It was just they were there to fight, and that's one of the legends of the Great Wall. So I guess that was the explanation, but for me, it didn't really do it. So besides that, though, the acting was fine. Matt Damon's Matt Damon. The action sequences were cool, and it was funny. So there you go, guys. That's my rating. This is my review for The Great Wall. Hope you checked out my review for Fist Fight and A Cure for Wellness. I had fun this weekend seeing all those films, even though some of them were not the best. But this is my review for the film The Great Wall. My name is Nick. Thank you for watching. This is the Tempest Productions, and I will see you guys in the next video.